Hey everybody, welcome back to our Texas Real Estate and Construction YouTube channel. Today we have James Becton. He works with a company out of Houston, Texas. He lives in Memphis, Tennessee. We're going to talk a bit about his background, what he does, and why this is such an interesting time to be in the multifamily space. James, pleasure to have you on. And how you doing tonight?
I am doing great. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. I know a bit about you, about your background, and what you do in the multifamily space for the most part. You used the word groundbreaking earlier about what you guys are doing. So I'm really excited to see what you have to say about the business. And for those of us who don't know you, would you introduce yourself, please, and what y'all do?
Well, my name is James Becton, and I work for a company called S.H.A.R.E Community Development Corp, which stands for S.H.A.R.E the acronym, which means supplying humanity with achievement, resources, and education. And what we do is we're trying to make sure that ordinary individuals, not just the wealthy or the elite, can get into the multifamily real estate investing segment. So we're making it accessible and and uh, and very affordable to the average guy.
Absolutely. And just out of curiosity, what got you into this sort of business model, right? Because you see these huge apartment complexes, maybe they have, hundreds of units, and you assume there's some big money guys behind that. How exactly is that accessible to your everyday man that's, maybe working a 9 to 5, or how can people get into it?
Get into
Get into the investing space.
well, right now the biggest piece I've saw that have like when I started that hurts people on the entry is the cost of entry. Typically, it takes a large sum of money to put down or invest, and so the financing aspect of it is the reason the average person. And most times in multifamily, you have to be accredited. So we've taken that piece out of. We do accredited, non-accredited. So you don't have to have any accreditation. You can be just a person working a 9 to 5 job, right? And we we do 100% financing on our turnkey because we do new construction, 100% financing. So all we need is a small deposit, resale agreement, and then some qualifications, and then you can get in.
Absolutely. That sounds like a neat model. If you wouldn't mind, can you talk a bit about, your background maybe in the real estate business and how you got to where you are today?
Well, I've been an active investor since probably 2006, right? But over since and then 2008 happened, right? So after over a decade of ups and downs, I found a model that works, and I'm fully committed to it. And right, so right now I'm the business development manager, like I said, of S.H.A.R.E Community Development Corp, and this allows me to guide other people into the same space that I'm in. So that's how I got into it. I really had been trying to get into the multifamily space for years, and I came across this particular company that changed the game for me because they made it affordable for average investors, for the middle class to get in, and not just the upper echelon.
Absolutely. And I noticed you said with the acronym SHARE that the last part was intriguing. You said education, right? It,
Yes.
it's it's this weird paradox where it seems like we're in this new information age and so much information is getting thrown at your face, but yet we still lack that education. What is how can a new investor really educate themselves the right way in real estate?
Well, the first thing I would think you have to get to a mentor. You have to pick the right partner to partner with. Like for me, years ago, if I had everything to do over with, I would have partnered with somebody because you had to have the learning curve of trying to learn it on your own, the ups and downs of failing and succeeding. So the first thing you can do is like we having a webinar coming up real soon, free webinar that educates people on what turnkey multifamily real estate investing is and how to get started. So that's something that the average person or the person should do is get educated, learn, get hooked, find somebody that's an expert in the area that can help shine some light on it before you dive in.
Absolutely. And what exactly does turnkey mean if you're buying a turnkey property?
Turnkey means that you don't have to do anything. It means that everything's done by the provider that's actually whoever the multifamily investor company that you're dealing with. So turnkey means, in our case, we develop, build, sell, and manage. So all our investor does, they pay a small deposit, right? Qualification, and sit back and watch us as we develop, construct it, get the financing approval done, and we manage. You don't have to worry about the tenants. We get the tenants in and everything. So turnkey means exactly what it is. It's just like you walking in the house or walking in the door. You don't have to do anything but look at your bank account and watch as the money flows in through your rentals.
Absolutely. And I think that's a big concern right now is the money flowing in, right? Particularly now with, the way the economy's going and maybe an election coming up. And this is just kind of what I'm hearing. There's just a bit of uncertainty. What makes this a special time, particularly for the multifamily asset class?
Well, the industry is changing, is evolving, right? Especially in terms of accessibility and technology. So more people are realizing that investing isn't just for the wealthy or the seasoned pros. So, and technology has made it easier to access information and opportunities. And with models like ours, like S.H.A.R.E, we're opening the door for everybody, everyday people rather, to get into real estate, specifically multifamily properties it's a much lower barrier to entry, right? And I also see a shift in this new market toward sustainability and new construction projects. And that's where our approach fits in perfectly. We build brand new, fully furnished, utilities included, 4 and 8-plex apartment complexes, luxury apartment complexes that is going to change the game because we're competitive with all the other apartment complexes, but we add something they don't have: furnishing and energy saving utilities.
Absolutely. And that it seems like it seems like a very unique model because a lot of developers don't seem to do that for some reason. Why do you think that is? And how it seems that you guys are filling an interesting gap there.
Well, we're vertically integrated. So most investors, they have to outsource them. So if they do the financing, they outsource the construction, or they outsource the development. We're very integrated. That means, what does that mean? I mean, we do the whole process. We own the whole process. We develop the land. We go out and we look at markets. We do the research. Then we actually construct. We own our own construction company. We actually construct. We use precast concrete, which is how we make it energy efficient. All right, because it's environmentally friendly and it saves on energy. And we also have financing. We have vetted and sources of financing companies that totally agree with our model. They go with our model, and we manage property management. We do the whole concept. So we get the tenants involved, and we do long-term rentals. We do Airbnb or corporate, and it's dependent on the investor. You determine what you want to do with your apartments, but we can do either one. We're experts in all 3 areas. So.
Absolutely. And what makes a good multifamily deal? I know you said you park your money here and you just wait for the money to come into your bank account. But what makes a good multifamily deal from the investor's perspective?
Profitable. But one thing you want to make it so that return on investment. So what makes a great multifamily deal is when you can invest your money and see a return immediately, cash flowing, right? So, and that's what our model represents. So, right, you invest, you just do a deposit, we do 100% financing, which leaves you more money from that you can have to do other things where you don't have to invest it into the company. We do all, so you're using other people's money in order to invest your profit. So it makes a good thing when you can use leverage, credit stack, where we use somebody else's money and then make it profitable and return on your investment rather quickly. That's a good deal, right? When you can see that.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, could you explain again what the 100% financing means in this context?
In this context, we actually vetted. We do 100% financing to our investors. Of course, there's some pre-qualification things that we will definitely talk about. A credit score of a 740, but the way we do it is different. If you go with most people, you get an LLC and you purchase something, all of the people in that LLC have to have have to meet the criteria. Well, in our case, only one person. Like you have 2 to 5 people. If one person has the credit, that's all it takes to get qualified, right, with anything. So when we say 100% financing, the entire apartment is paid for. We get you the financing so that you just make a small deposit, and then that's it, out of pocket. And we build these apartment complexes for you with the financing that we acquire.
Absolutely. I know that you spoke a bit about the Memphis market. Out of frankly, I don't think we've ever had anybody talk about Memphis on our podcast. So, if you wouldn't mind describing why Memphis, why is it special for real estate?
Well, really, we're starting in Houston. I actually live in Memphis and we're remote, but our first buildings are starting in the Houston, Dallas. We're starting in Houston. We're moving to Dallas. We're moving to Fort Worth, San Antonio. So it's several markets we look, and we haven't come to. We are at this particular company. We're not bringing the multifamily to Memphis as of yet. We're projected sometime in the future maybe to do Nashville, Tennessee, then Memphis. Because you see, when you're doing developing, there's a lot of criteria has to be met, especially with luxury turnkey for us that goes into play in that the industry, the working market, the businesses. So we build in those areas where our investors can won't have any problem with tenants moving in and being able to afford these luxury apartments. So we vet very much, and so Memphis is later. So we're going through 70 cities later on, but it's a process. So we go through the hottest cities first, and we go through the process. So Memphis is not one. I live in Memphis, but we're actually developing in Texas as of right now.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
It's interesting how each of the 4 major metros in Texas are so different in terms of building and just little nuances and rules and stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, you're right about that. And that is a part of the developing process. You have to go through and get the land, the licenses and the inspections and all that stuff. We've already pre-vetted it. We're actually starting on one of our communities real soon. We've already been approved. We're getting the construction loan is going in, and we're going to start building, breaking ground, like probably next week or so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you'll get to see it since you're in Houston.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's I mean, there's so much new development really across the state, but I especially see quite a bit here in Houston, and it kind of seems like there's that big need, right? We're just in such a shortage for housing.
Oh, yeah, and I failed to mention something because you said earlier what makes us different is you guys just had a hurricane, right?
Hmm.
And our precast concrete is actually fire, flood, and resistant and energy saving. So the material we build it out of, even if it floods, it won't destroy it. All you have to do is wipe it off like you do with a rag. So what we're building is infrastructure. It's the future, because we're not just making a good place for people to live. We're making a very safe place for people to live.
Absolutely. And I know that that can be a big concern for people, right? With anytime you say eco-friendly, a lot of, at least builders that I know, they'll say, okay, hey, that's cool, but is it going to withstand the test of time, right? Is it going to get the job done, right? But it kind of sounds like it does.
It does. It does. Yeah. And our apartments come with 10-year warranties too. So any maintenance and anything that just makes it turnkey, just so that's what turnkey means as well too. Well, you have turnkeys that are not brand new. They do the same thing we do. They go in, they renovate, but we build it brand new. So we come with a 10-year warranty. So there's no pretty much maintenance is for the first 10 years.
Absolutely. So could you kind of walk us through your entire process? I know you said you're going from breaking ground all the way to, hey, Mr. Investor, here's your check for, his investment, right? Is that?
He said, Mr. Investor. No, well, the first step is we have a process, and since we're the first one to do it, it's kind of proprietary. We're going to go over it in our webinar that we're doing on October 10th, Thursday next week. We're free information, but when someone was to book an appointment with me and we go over it, I would show him the video showing him our process. It's like, it's so unique that if I tell you, you couldn't imagine it because you hadn't seen it before, right? So we show it to you on video. We have like an 8-minute video. That's the first step, and you see our process, and then we go through and we do the numbers. If you ever have a pro forma, and that's projection of it tells it, you know, how much things cost. It breaks down all the numbers, how much money we are projected to make, and it gives the investor a whole picture to make an informed decision. That's our process. And then we take a reservation deposit from him. And once the reservation deposit, you just sit back and let us do everything else. We do the development planning, the construction, the building, the financing, and managing. Right, we put the tenants in there. He doesn't have to do anything else but watch. We give our investors an investor portal. What it means, you log on and you can actually, we have cameras. You can see even when we clear the ground for your property. Right, so it's a very, very, like I told you, it's a very unique process. And because of, you know, AI and technology, we're able to do stuff like this in this area.
Sure, that's remarkable. It's nice, you know, being able to see the progress that's being made, right?
Right. Yeah. So you don't have to be there. So it's not like you're like, well, I only invest in Tennessee. No, you don't have to be. It's turnkey because someone else is doing it, but you can see it and view it like you're there from your investor portal. So,
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of real estate is you can see it, you can touch it. Whereas with crypto or something, not to rag on that, but
yes, I know exactly
on a screen, right?
Right. Yeah. And you know, real estate investing itself is, you know, everybody's done it, but turnkey is the safest, is low risk, high reward. So it's one of the safest avenues in it because you don't have to learn real estate. You don't have to go through this big learning curve. You don't have to sit behind somebody and get coached for a year. You have experts that's been doing this for 30 years that you're handing the key, you're giving them the keys and they're driving for you. But you get the option of you sitting in the back seat watching the whole process. You get to see every turn, you know, you get to see they're driving safely, you know, that they're going to get you to where you're going. You get to watch the process.
Yeah. That's great. Absolutely, James. You know, is there anything that you haven't said you really just like to hit home for us, you know, about your process or, you know, what y'all are looking forward to in the future?
Like I said, we're breaking ground our communities. Our plan is to build at least 24 communities in the next 12 months, and this is a lot of apartment complexes. So what we're trying to do is, what I want to do is, I'm an investor purchase myself. Like I said, I work for with S.H.A.R.E partner, but I'm actually one of the investor purchase. I've already signed my agreement and paid my reservation deposit so that I can have apartments as well. And I just want to introduce this to as many people as I want. So I wanted to invite all of the people that's watching your community to our Turnkey Multifamily Investment webinar on Thursday, October 10th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's a free event. We break down the process of investing in new construction properties. We'll be covering everything from why multifamily is a way to go to how you can get started with a low upfront investment. And I just encourage everyone to attend, especially if you've ever wondered how to build wealth through real estate, but didn't know where to begin. It's going to be packed with valuable insights, great strategies, and a detailed roadmap on how you can get started on your journey to financial freedom. So it's free information. Everyone need to come out and see it and see if this is what something that you can use. We have a 5-year projection on how we can put you in a position that if you wanted to retire, you could retire through our apartment investing process.
Absolutely, James. You know, we'll make sure to have a few links to y'all's webinars and for your, you know, we'll have your bio in the video description as well.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, James. You know, well, thank you again for joining us today. It's been great to hear a bit about, you know, your background and what you do and really the uniqueness, the intricacies of your business model. So, you know, thank you again for sitting down with us tonight.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm always happy to share the knowledge to help anybody else get into the space. And I'm so excited about the future of real estate and our model. And I know we're in a precarious situation with our politics now, but our model really can withstand whoever's in office. All right. Yeah, that's the thing. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know that's a big concern for people too. So.
Right, exactly. And it does, yeah. For other traditional models, it makes a difference, right? Seriously,
Yeah.
for us.
Absolutely. Well, James, thank you again, guys. This is Aaron signing off from Houston, Texas. Talked a bit about James's background, Turnkey Multifamily, and how you can work with James. It's going to be in our video description below. So again, guys, signing off from Houston. We will talk to y'all next time. All right.
All right, man. Oh.